Today on Play to Win, Alabama and Clemson meet again in the College Football National Championship, and the NFL playoffs begin. Plus, what's Georgia's future after that embarrassing loss to Texas? All that and more coming up on the fastest 30 minutes in television, football's Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by your Georgia Drives Chevy dealers. Find new roads, the Georgia Lottery, and McDonald's.
Welcome to football's Play to Win with Falcons All-Pro defensive end Chuck Smith, Falcons All-Pro offensive tackle Bob Whitfield, Play to Win expert Jeffrey "The Edge" Schechter, player medical and injury reports with Dr. Sadiq El-Amin, and your host, Nikki Williams. Today's hometown team report is brought to you by Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers, a higher order of pizza for your tailgating events.
Good morning and welcome back to another week of football's Play to Win. New year, same dudes. Our NFL and especially Atlanta Falcons legends Bob Whitfield, Chuck Smith, and welcome back Terrence Mathis, and might I also say head coach of Pinecrest Academy.
Yep, thank you. Yes,
You're on loan.
I'm back.
All right, well, you're on loan. Strong year last year. Well, what's going on right now? High school, what's going on at Pinecrest Academy?
Well, we're trying to get better. Right. One thing is that we're trying to recruit players to get our football team to where it needs to be. Mm-hmm. You know, we're close. We're really, really close, and I'm excited about this year.
I'm excited too, because I'm volunteering. I'm coming out to you.
You know what?
Come on.
I love high school football in Georgia. I just want to give a shout out to my Milton High School Eagles. It might have taken them 69 years.
For the fourth straight week.
Champions.
Congratulations, Milton.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I just couldn't not get that little in there. Guys, we're really excited about the College Football National Championship, second time in 4 years, Clemson, Alabama meeting. You can say all day long that you're tired of seeing these two play, but you're not going to be tired about seeing Trevor Lawrence versus Tua. What a marketing dream this is going to be.
Who's tired? You tired of it?
No,
I ain't tired. I'm good. I like good football.
This is it.
I want to see good
waiting
football.
On this.
The last game of the year, good football.
Bang, bang matchup right there. This is what you want to see. You want to see the best teams in college football that everybody hands down wants to see play. Clemson has a defense and they have a quarterback. And Alabama, they're the same thing. Mirror images, like a great matchup's going to unfold in front of us.
Well, who gets tired of
me?
Ali Frazier? You too young for that. Who gets tired of Red Sox Yankees? Come on now. I mean, who gets tired of that? What you want? You want to see the best two teams in college football, and I want to see two coaches that get after it. Dabo Swinney, Nick Saban. I mean, this is a collision of mass proportions. I mean, let's be real. I mean, these teams get after it, but I love seeing these young kids because the best athletes are going to be on the field. That's how college football's national championship should be decided.
Well, the only people that's tired of it are those people that teams are not in the championship game. That's the only people that's not. I'm tired of seeing the same. Your team is not there. We're sorry.
I'm tired of seeing those bowl games that led up to this game, though. Those were lackluster bowl games.
See,
they lived up to expectations.
You see it different than the way we see it.
See, I disagree. Go ahead, T.
There was only one bowl matchup that I didn't like was Houston Army.
Oh, you were super excited about Clemson Notre Dame?
Army just blew. Yeah, Clemson Notre Dame. You knew what was going to happen.
What a joke!
Notre Dame got exposed. You know, they play the schedule, and everybody gets excited about it because they beat Michigan opening day. So everybody says, "Oh, it's Notre Dame is back," but they're not back.
They got embarrassed. Now, do we think Alabama can hold off Clemson's D-line? I mean, obviously they're dealing with some suspensions over there.
I do. Bobby does. Nikki, this is the best O-line in college football. They got some veteran players in Pierce Walker and now Lester Cotton in that guard. That those guys have worked well together. They're a unit that's been really on the same page for a lot of years. So now you got this solid offensive line that they're not going to miss a beat or miss a step.
Well, I'll just say this.
Damn!
This is the Clemson guy here.
I know, I don't have my watch on, but time is ticking on Tua in the pocket. Right. Clemson's defensive line is fierce. They got a great defensive line coach, one of the most underrated, Todd Bates. They get after Nikki, T-Matt. I'm going to just tell you right now, Tua will not stand in that pocket. He will not be able to pump the ball and do all those different things. Clemson's coverage is fantastic, but the front line, they are what we call war dogs, okay? So watch out. It's going to be a great battle, but Clemson's going to do I'm going to wear my watch during the game. How many seconds does it take Clemson's D-line to get to Tua?
All right, get in your crystal ball real quick. Everybody, who do you pick to win the game? Chuck, I'll start with you.
Clemson. I think Clemson's going to be able to run the ball. I think Clemson's D-line is strong, and I love Trevor Lawrence, the future.
The future.
And
what
the
about
present.
you, Terrence?
Well, I got to go with Alabama. You know, Tua and his experience in that championship game, it's Alabama.
You mean one, like 5 plays in the championship game? Okay.
Bob?
My bad.
Bob's going with Bama too. Guys, when we come back, we're going to take a look at something new. It's the road to the Super Bowl as the NFL playoffs kick off this weekend. Stay with us on Football's Play to Win.
Fuel your football. Come to Mellow Mushroom for craft brews, fresh cocktails, and stone-baked pizzas. Or mellow at your own home gate. Tailgating? No matter who wins, it's always mellow for the win. Fuel your football with Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers.
Athletes of all levels experience more wear and tear than most. Stop playing through the pain. Get the proper medical attention you need from Dr. Elamine and the staff at the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Our team includes specialists in many fields offering compassionate care and advanced treatments that will get you back in the game. From weekend warriors to athletes of all levels, we've got your back and shoulder and ankle and knee. Call today for an appointment or visit theshouldernation.com.
When the food is so delicious, you make noise. Bring on the noise.
This is it.
Backed by popular demand, This Is It Barbecue and Seafoods, 2 for $27. 2 entrees, 4 sides, 2 drinks, 2 desserts, 2 for $27. Order online now. Check in. Look here. You should have stayed an egg, homie.
Today's NFL Road to the Super Bowl is being brought to you by your Georgia Drive Chevy dealers. Find new roads.
Welcome back to Play to Win. My goodness, we are finally here at the NFL playoffs. Let's take a look right now at our AFC matchups.
Oh yeah. I like that first matchup with Indianapolis at Houston. Andrew Luck, Stanford's guy. You got to watch out for his comeback.
No bias there.
Yeah, there's a little bit. But, you know, J.J. Watt and that Clowney from the Houston Texans defense is going to try to contain Andrew Luck. Play action pass is going to be big.
It ain't about Andrew Luck. They're the best running team in the game. 3 offensive linemen that were first-round picks. Indianapolis has gotten, what's helped Indianapolis is the ability to run. They go unbalanced. They put all them big hogs up on the line, and they really try to knock you off the ball. That's really helped Andrew Luck, but to me, maybe the comeback player of the year, T.
Well, I think they quietly have come back and surprised a lot of people. It was not in the discussion about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Then all of a sudden, Luck gets hot, like you said, the running game, the defense. Here they are.
And now, Ravens, Chargers?
Both teams got off the bad starts, too, and then they just came on.
Man, listen, Phillip Rivers right now, San Diego Chargers, Anthony Lynn, head coach, they have really given themselves a chance now to be in the conversation. They play great defense. Right now, Phillip Rivers is playing as good as anyone, but I really like the stability.
Who's that new guy, though? Who's that new quarterback on the other side? Don't forget about him. The one that runs the ball.
There was method to John Harbaugh's madness when he drafted Lamar Jackson. And he saved the season. And remember this about Baltimore. I mean, San Diego's a heck of a team, too. It's a great matchup. Baltimore is the best kicker in the history of football. Tim Tucker. If Cleveland had Tim Tucker, they'd be the number 2 seed in the AFC playoffs.
All right, well, let's switch gears over to the NFC.
Seattle and Dallas.
I like this one, too.
Oh, I do, too. But I trust Seattle before I trust Dallas. Seattle has consistently got to the playoffs and done well with Russell Wilson, managing the game well, making plays when they count. And Dallas, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things.
Who's
They're
gonna be
having
on
a
the
good
hunt,
year,
Chuck?
but it's just one of those things like which Dallas team is going to show up?
Well, the one that has a ferocious defense. They have DeMarcus Lawrence, the one that has Randy Gregory. I like Dallas. I like Dak Prescott. I really like this team. And to me, it's like it's their time. They got a lot to prove. And when you're talking about proving something, Philadelphia at Chicago. Y'all understand this theme where I'm getting at?
Nope.
Defense. Look, right now, look, Chicago's defense is ferocious now. I know it's been a big season to play, everybody throwing the ball, but I really believe in the playoffs, defenses are going to be the big conversation when the championship is decided.
Go ahead, cliche. Defense wins championships.
Well, yeah, that's not a cliche, but the defenses help these teams get where they are because Mitch Trubisky, he's a good quarterback, but the Chicago defense has been the catalyst for getting them where they are.
They have a ferocious defense.
I think for Philly is they're going, whew, we didn't get in that category of a championship team not getting back to the playoffs.
Right.
So I think right now they're just
You've been there.
happy to be there. Yeah,
We've
been there before.
We've been there before.
Foles is going to be running for his life. I mean, that's a rough team, Chicago.
Well, nonetheless, the road to the Super Bowl is going to be an exciting one. Guys, stick with us. After we come back, we're going to talk about our Bulldogs and that really devastating loss in the Sugar Bowl. What's next for the Dogs? We'll find out when we come back. We're going to wake Jeffrey up over here on Football's Play to Win. Stick with us.
Some of you are Honda owners and some of you are Toyota owners, right? Yep. Would you be surprised to hear that Honda is the most reliable car company?
Honda's reliable.
Well, it's actually not Honda.
Really? What?
Toyota. It's not Toyota either. Chevy. Based on a nationwide survey, Chevy is more reliable than Toyota and Honda.
Wow. Get $4,500 total cash allowance on select Equinox vehicles in stock when you finance with GM Financial. That's 16% below MSRP on this Chevy Equinox.
Georgia drives Chevy. Find new roads.
I know I love cooking.
Hey guys, I'm going to Dave's to play video games.
Hang on.
Yeah, we talked about this. We don't want you over there.
Their internet, it's cable.
When they could get internet with AT&T and they don't?
We just want what's best for you.
Don't get mixed up with cable internet. AT&T Internet is rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable. Switch to AT&T Internet and DirecTV. Save when you bundle for $75 per month for 12 months. Limited availability. May not be in your area. More for your thing. That's our thing. Call 1-877-ONLY-ATT.
With McDonald's $1, $2, $3 menu, you can find a little joy every day. Like the delicious McDouble, just $1 for a limited time. Can you say mmm and mmm? The $1, $2, $3 menu at McDonald's.
Today's University of Georgia Report is being brought to you by This Is It Barbecue and Seafood.
Welcome back to Play to Win. My gosh, when it comes to the Sugar Bowl, it started off with the mascot charging Uga, and then it was just downhill from there for Georgia. What do you guys think about the Sugar Bowl and the way things turned out?
Georgia mailed it in. The problem is the post office is closed on New Year's Day.
Well, we're thinking let down from the players where they just off from it's not the big game. This is the consolation prize. So I kind of took it from an old basketball consolation tournament I was in when I was 8th grade or something, and we went in for the championship, so I fouled out the first half.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. For Georgia, it was all a bust for them. If it wasn't a championship game, it didn't matter. And it showed. They was uninterested.
Well, no, I agree. I agree they look uninterested, but that's what happens when the team comes in and hits you in the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
You get uninterested real quick when you're not coming in there with the right frame of mind, but to me, this has a lot more to do with Texas. Texas showed me that they got big, fast guys like in the SEC, too. Texas showed me they got an offensive game plan and a big quarterback that the SEC hadn't seen since Tim Tebow. So I really think this has more to be about Texas because everybody's kind of slighting Texas when they completely dominated Georgia. And let me tell you why. The line of scrimmage. So when you look at usually the big slobber knockers in the middle, when you start getting hit in the mouth, Bob, what you going to do? Even when you're getting beat up, you're going to eventually do what?
Wilt.
You're going to fight. No, you ain't going to wilt.
Wilt. That's what they did. They wilted.
Fight back. But
they didn't fight back. They wilted.
That's what I'm saying. So
they wilted.
No, I'm saying when someone starts enacting their will upon you, you're going to step up. So to me, Georgia's young guys got some reps, but also it's more about what I saw from Texas, not as much to do with Georgia. Texas came to play, and there's nobody that can ever tell me that college players get uninterested in a game when they're in the Sugar Bowl, and this is their opportunity to play. Some of them are playing for money in the NFL. Some are playing for playing time. I don't believe that excuse that people are making for the SEC, not just Georgia. It's an SEC issue, not Georgia.
So
Texas beat them up. Their offensive line they ran the ball right down their throat.
So then are you saying that Georgia was overrated going into this game, or did they just not show up?
I think the better team won on that day because any given day a team can beat another team. So that's what it's about. Georgia could have won that game on another given day, but I'm not saying Georgia's underrated. I will say this, though, and it showed in these bowl games. the SEC, all the mantra that they are so much better is not true. I'm a hardcore SEC guy. Right. But for everyone to keep thinking like they don't have 5-star players in Texas and California, look at the league. Ohio State leads the NFL, I'm sure, or at least close to what NFL players. But it has more to do with where the SEC is now, where it perpetuates what people think about Georgia. Kentucky, look, Kentucky beat Penn State. Soccer, well, I mean,
it's the culture.
It's the culture. So it's the culture. You can go this way or that way, but Georgia's not overrated. Georgia just got whooped.
Georgia got whooped. What about the committee as a whole? I mean, when we talk about whoopings, some of those bowl games, they were just complete blowouts. So do you think Georgia should have been in the playoff?
Well, I definitely don't think that. I think that they had their opportunities in that game against Alabama, and that was going to set the tone if they won the SEC championship. But for these matchups, some things are dollar amounts. Who can they get for these consolation games at the Rose Bowl that's going to turn out tickets and turn out interest in viewers? So it's always, unless you expand the playoff field and put more games in the playoffs, you're going to be stuck with other bad bowl games around that it's just more teams, more action.
Eventually, it has to come down to more games, more bowl games, add 8 teams to it whatsoever. Right. But I like the old way. I like the way where the percentages came down whatsoever. And Chuck said it early off air that, well, what happens is you're going to get a dominant of SEC teams there if you're going to do it by percentages and win common opponents and all those things.
If you have 8 teams, you have like a long shot in there, like a UCF. I mean, it'd be more interesting, and this way they can't get second guessed. I mean, they had the right 4 teams in there. Just Notre Dame had a bad day and they got their brains beat out. But
speaking of UCF,
they did good though.
Yeah. I was impressed. I was very impressed with UCF.
Yeah, that was a backup quarterback too.
They got after it.
They did, and they had their backup quarterback. And what grade do you give Georgia for their season as a whole?
A B.
You know, a B.
Why?
LSU beat their brains in.
But why over the whole season? How did they get a B? They fight Alabama to the end.
Well, they blew the game to Alabama.
They win the SEC East. They end up going to the Sugar Bowl and losing to a top 10 team. To me, it has to be an A at the end of the day. And also, look at how young Georgia is. Right. I mean, again, Fromm's only a sophomore. They put out a whole new offensive line. They got all new defenders. So to me, Georgia's an A, not an A+. If they finish Alabama and get to the national championship game, it's an A+. But to me, it's an A for Georgia.
When you
back
say
to back,
all or nothing, A for all or nothing, they get an F. They busted. They failed. They didn't meet the target, the criterion. We wanted to see Georgia in the 4 and for the national championship. They failed us.
They cannot be happy with this season.
Terrence, what do you think?
Well, my thing is I think they'll still be ranked preseason top 5.
Oh, yeah.
Preseason top 5. You guys heard it there. After the break, we're going to shift our focus over to the ACC. Miami makes a new hire, and we're going to talk about it. Stick with us on Football's Play to Win.
When the food is so delicious, you make noise. Bring on the noise.
This is it.
Backed by popular demand, This Is It Barbecue and Seafoods, 2 for $27. 2 entrees, 4 sides, 2 drinks, 2 desserts, 2 for $27. Order online now. Check in. Look here. You should have stayed at egg, homie.
We've owned a few different houses through the years. Your company was absolutely the best. They were so professional. Everything they didn't get a mark on a wall or anything else. It was clean, it was friendly, and it was fun. And most of the time, moving is not fun. I'm going to give a great recommendation to Atlanta Peach Movers. It's always on time and it's always professional. There is no tree in Atlanta Peach Movers.
To schedule your move, call Atlanta Peach Movers today.
Some of you are Honda owners and some of you are Toyota owners, right? Yep. Would you be surprised to hear that Honda is the most reliable car company?
Honda's reliable.
Well, it's actually not Honda.
Really? What?
Toyota. It's not Toyota either. Chevy. Based on a nationwide survey, Chevy is more reliable than Toyota and Honda.
Wow.
Get $4,500 total cash allowance on select Equinox vehicles in stock when you finance with GM Financial. That's 16% below MSRP on this Chevy Equinox.
Georgia drives Chevy. Find new roads.
Today's show is being brought to you by Nissan and This Is It Barbecue. Today's SEC and ACC report is being brought to you by Nissan.
Welcome back to Football's Play to Win. Let's jump in now to recap some of these SEC Bowl matchups. take a look at some of the wins and, well, of course, some of the losses, some of them anticlimactic. What stood out to you?
Florida, Michigan. Oh, my goodness. So, Harbaugh, Michigan, they should be in the conversation whatsoever. And then you go lay an egg against Florida. But that Florida team had nothing to lose, and they came in and showed their dominance.
That's a good team with a great coach, and Georgia's going to have to be dealing with them going forward now.
I like the Kentucky-Penn State game. I'm going to tell you this. I enjoyed watching Kentucky, which is usually thought of as a basketball school. Transitioning to a football school, and the thing that made it really special, they did it against Penn State. They had a great year in the Southeastern Conference. And when I visualize a game like this, I could never see growing up, or even in my young adulthood, or even in my old age right now at 49, seeing Kentucky beat Penn State and watching the evolution of this program. Kudos out to Kentucky, and I think Benny Snell's kind of been the catalyst of running back for it, but kudos out to Kentucky and that whole, team.
I want to ask your opinion on, in the wake of the Mark Richt retirement, what's going on now with Manny Diaz, of course, going from Temple now back to Miami. Can you blame the guy? Some people are pretty ticked about this.
Blame Mark Richt or Manny?
Manny.
I thought it was a good move for Manny just because he was a defensive coordinator down there at Miami, and his daddy used to be the mayor of Miami, and he left for 18 days, and he couldn't, leave the palm trees. So he comes back and Rick retires, and he's probably in the best place because he's inheriting his defense. His coaching staff is already set, so he's just getting all new offensive coaches so they can revamp that team.
And I don't want to hear any excuses about a kid transferring schools or holding out or sitting out that last bowl game getting ready for the NFL. I don't want to hear any more excuses, because when a coach can leave a program after being there for 18 days or so to take a better job, hey, it's his prerogative.
Also a good argument to make that he wouldn't be leaving his guys by going back to Miami to the familiar defense that he already had. Now let's switch it over to the other side of the country for the big game, our college football showdown of the week.
Today's showdown of the week is being brought to you by the Georgia Lottery.
All right, guys, Clemson-Bama, it's happening again. Santa Clara, California. What you think?
I got to change my pick.
Okay.
We talked about it earlier, and I was going for Bama, but after thinking about Lawrence at quarterback and what he did in that bowl game and his ability to manage that team and manage that pocket and manage those throws downfield in tight windows, I just don't see Tua and that ankle holding up against that vaunted defensive line anymore. It happens. It happens.
All right, Jeffrey, who's your pick?
Tua looked great the other night. I love Bama. Give the 5.5. I think they'll shut down Clemson's offense, and I think Bama's going to move the ball.
The only opinion that matters, guys. When we come back, Dr. Elamine checks in with his player injury report. Stick with us on Play to Win.
With McDonald's $1, $2, $3 menu, you can find a little joy every day. Like the delicious McDouble, just $1 for a limited time. Can you say mmm and mmm? The $1, $2, $3 menu at McDonald's.
I know I love cooking.
Hey guys, I'm going to Dave's to play video games.
Hang on.
Yeah, we talked about this. We don't want you over there.
Their internet, it's cable.
When they could get internet with AT&T and they don't?
We just want what's best for you.
Don't get mixed up with cable internet. AT&T Internet is rated #1 in customer satisfaction over cable. Switch to AT&T Internet and DirecTV. Save when you bundle for $75 per month for 12 months. Limited availability. May not be in your area. More for your thing. That's our thing. Call 1-877-ONLY-ATT.
Today's player, medical, and injury report is being brought to you by the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute.
Welcome back to Play to Win. We got the doctor in the house. Welcome back, Dr. Elamine. Happy New Year to you.
That's right.
New Year, some of these same injuries.
Absolutely.
I want to jump right in and talk now about Nick Foles, because this is complicated, right?
It's very complicated. As you know, the quarterback from the Philadelphia Eagles sustained a chest injury last week, hurt his ribs, went out. Now, what was interesting with him is that he went out with only playing close to almost 32% of his plays this year. He's supposed to play 33%, and he would have got $1 million bonus. So he must have been really hurt to be out.
1 more percent, you're saying he would have cashed in on that $1 million bonus?
Right. Exactly, 1 more percent. Yep. So these injuries are pretty intense, right?
And is he going to play?
Yeah, he definitely better going to play. Yeah, he's going to play.
He's going to play. Wow.
Limited practice week, but he'll play, definitely.
Todd Gurley.
Todd
Man,
Gurley.
we've heard that name a lot
that's
this season.
Dealing with his knee injury. The Rams running back, he definitely will play. They got a bye week, but as you know, he'll be ready for next week. I'm sure he will be.
DJ Fluker.
DJ Fluker, the guard from the Seattle Seahawks. This guy's a tough guy. They call him DJ Warrior. I expect him to play. They're going to need him this week.
J.J. Watt.
J.J. Watt, he's dealing with an elbow and a knee injury. But as you know, J.J. Watt's a tough guy. He'll be out there going after the quarterback. So I expect him to play as well.
And off the cuff, what's going on with Tua? I mean, a lot of people are wondering. We haven't really addressed it. What's really his deal right now?
As you know, he sustained what they call a high ankle injury, right? You have a low ankle injury versus a high ankle injury, what they call a syndesmosis injury. He actually had surgery where they actually repaired it. And so this is very unusual for him to get back, but this will definitely affect his mobility.
I see a recurring theme here that no matter how hurt these guys are, this is the point we're at in the season where they're going to play anyway. So it's whatever it takes to get them out there. Guys, stick with us. When we come back, it's the moment we've all been waiting for, our lightning round. The road to the Super Bowl is getting exciting. Don't miss a second on football's Play to Win. We'll be right back.
Athletes of all levels experience more wear and tear than most. Stop playing through the pain. Get the proper medical attention you need from Dr. Elamine and the staff at the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Our team includes specialists in many fields offering compassionate care and advanced treatments that will get you back in the game. From weekend warriors to athletes of all levels, we've got your back and shoulder and ankle and knee. Call today for an appointment or visit theshouldernation.com.
Fuel your football. Come to Mellow Mushroom for craft brews, fresh cocktails, and stone-baked pizzas. Or mellow at your own home gate. Tailgating? No matter who wins, it's always mellow for the win. Fuel your football with Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers.
Some of you are Honda owners and some of you are Toyota owners, right? Yep. Would you be surprised to hear that Honda is the most reliable car company?
Honda's reliable.
Well, it's actually not Honda.
Really? What?
Toyota. It's not Toyota either. Chevy. Based on a nationwide survey, Chevy is more reliable than Toyota and Honda.
Wow. Get $4,500 total cash allowance on select Equinox vehicles in stock when you finance with GM Financial. That's 16% below MSRP on this Chevy Equinox.
Georgia drives Chevy. Find new roads.
Welcome back to Play to Win. We've been waiting for it. Jeffrey, let's get those picks.
These are all good matchups. AFC, Indianapolis. It's the third time they play in Houston. Both teams got off to a bad start. Houston won the first time in Indianapolis, and then Indianapolis beat them in Houston. I'm going to give the one with Houston.
I like that.
There you go. I got Chuck to agree with me. Chargers at Baltimore. Baltimore's 3-point favorite. You got to give Harbaugh all the credit in the world to get Baltimore going, but I like the Chargers with the 3.
Okay.
Like that?
Yes, sir.
Wow, 2 endorsements.
NFC, I love Russell Wilson. I think he'll be a nightmare for Dallas. Take the 1.5 with Seattle. And Chicago, they got the best defense going. I think Foles is going to have a long day. Give the 6 with Chicago. If it's a nasty day, it'll even be worse for Philadelphia.
And if it's a nasty day, guys, the road to the Super Bowl is getting exciting. So make sure you join us again next week on Football's Play to Win. Thanks for sticking with us.
Today's show has been brought to you by the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute, Mellow Mushroom, and Atlanta Peach Movers.